Check. How we doing, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. The weekend was good. Billy, I see your request. Which one is most important? I'll start that one just to allow everybody a little bit of time to get a request in. Let me know which one you want first. I could definitely start that. You're first on the list, so we'll for sure you'll get one in. Rivian. I was looking at Rivian actually today, so nice request. SMCI. All right. Netflix. All right. 5:01 my time. I'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes. I'll send one more server ping out. We got football as usual. Might be a smaller class. That's all right. We'll roll with what we got. All right, 5:02. One more server ping and we'll get started, guys. All right, make sure recording. We are. All right, guys. Yeah, put your request in if you want a request. Right now, we got three, so you're guaranteed to get something in for sure. Let me know, like I said, if you're looking for an entry or in something, and maybe you're down on it or up a lot. need help figuring out where to sell, let me know. But with that, you guys, we'll start with SPY QQQ quickly. I'll be as quick as I can, but as thorough as I can, just to kind of show you guys kind of where we're at, where I think we're going. I think it's really important to do that every single week. And then we'll get into your guys' requests. So right now, we're starting on the SPY, excuse me, on the daily chart. And so we're back inside this very, very nice range up here. Oops, dang it. There we go. Back inside this range where 695, it's obvious that's our top. Anywhere down the 686, anytime we're over the 686, when we trickle in this range here, I want people to try and look for bounces best they can. Again, back-to-back days last week, Thursday, Friday, very, very rangy. I'm just calling these indecision candles because they're kind of just closing with top and bottom wicks on the top and bottom side, excuse me. And really just tells us indecision. We're just trading in the range there. And so again, if you guys need some free quick levels on SPY, whatever, take a screenshot. But the 691 is proven to be our top. We opened over it last week. We sold through it and we failed to break back over. We sold through that 686, broke back over. Now that's kind of our base. This was our low last week, obviously. We opened up here on the highs last week, but the last 2 days are very, very telling on, they make it pretty easy, damn near to the penny, where we should be not chasing calls and where we should not be chasing puts down here. And so now I'm going to go to an intraday look for you guys to kind of show you the best places to take your shots. Most of us are day traders. If you're a swing trader, that's totally fine too. But again, I'm just trying to show you guys where to take your shots, where to not chase stuff. Again, up here, get some drawings going here. Pretty obvious where, you buy your dips down here, you trim on the way up, and you get out of your calls up here. Or maybe you sell all of them and just totally or truly leave a runner to try and get a breakout here. But don't watch a bounce down here, and we're opening right here. Don't watch us bounce this for 1, 2, the third day in a row. We move up, everyone's making money on calls, and you're like, okay, 691, now I want to get long on calls. Don't do that, you guys, because this is a clear, very, very well-defined range. So, always rely on a larger time frame analysis to kind of figure out, where you want to take your shots at. And again, for me, I draw kind of colored zones that try and help me, and thick lines kind of mean, stronger support resistance on the way up. And lastly, on SPY, daily 9 moving average here, daily 20 moving average here. As we move into this price action here, they're stacked very, very tightly. And so if we start pushing up into this tomorrow, kind of this, would that be like 689-ish? And we start seeing a little bit of smackdown, you're like, well, it doesn't really make sense to me. Turn on some moving averages and see, where we're at. And very likely these 2 moving averages are going to be stacked right here. And if we start kind of like getting kicked down a little bit here, to me, it makes total sense, because the moving averages, they are what they are, or what they say they are. They're moving. They will act as resistance overhead, and they will act as support on the bottom when they're underneath us. So it's kind of quick, but I like to be a little bit quick so we have a bunch of time for you guys. Any questions on SPY? Again, I'll zoom out just a little bit here to kind of show you. Gap down, pretty much filled it, not quite to the penny. But again, as long as the 686 holds, I'm kind of calling that kind of our middle zone here. Down around here, the 677, 678, our lower range, and our clear and obvious defined top range, 695. So buyer dips, scaling and puts up here. If you think this breakout is going to fail, again, 1, 2, 3, 4 days it tested it and still failed. So that's what I got on that. I don't see any questions in the chat. No one's unmuting their mic. So QQQ. Similar situation, just a little bit different structure. I actually kind of like QQQ set up a little bit better. I really, really like calls off the 618.5, 618.5. This nice green zone down here. Again, I'm on the 1 hour chart right now. Again, when we're over that, how I like to try and teach you guys is find where the biggest reactions are. Where do we sell and we bounce the hardest? Where do we push and they smack it down the hardest, way up here? Find those range extremes. So here's our extreme tops up here. This is the top range, kind of our middle zone here, and our bottom range here. So this middle zone, again, I love this down here. I don't like when we trade stuff on new all-time highs. I love back testing the range as long as it's, it's a decent range. We don't want to play in a 50-cent range. No one likes that. So again, QQQ, if we bounce to 618.50, your first, I'm not saying scalping 0 TTs, whole fist, whole move, but if you're a day trader like me, and like on a Monday, you take like a Wednesday or Thursday contract on Q calls, then yeah, buy that dip down in here every single time until it fails us. We break under, I'll get bearish on puts. But as long as this holds here, I'm looking for a big main target up here. I'm not looking for this yet. I need this to clear first because we can see, look at that bounce here. And where do we, Thursday, where do we stall at? That big thick line. Friday, we bounced over. What do we do? It proved and provided support bounce zone to try and retest that again. So don't get into calls down here and think we're going to 625 and just a slingshot move. Yes, we can, but pay attention to these zones first because I have a very, very nice zone here. Like I said, I love to play off this zone. It's been making us a lot of money the last few weeks. Again, use 618.5 as your floor, as your lower extreme support until that breaks. Do not start looking at the 612, 613 until this zone breaks. We're over as of now. Let's see where we open in the morning. Any questions on QQQ? Daily looks pretty similar to SPY. A little bit of decision here. Very, very nice top defined range up here. I know it's not all-time high, but this range here, we're just, since December 5th right here, we failed to break over that zone there and close higher over that 630. Okay. I don't see any questions. Hopefully you guys are awake. Rivian first up. Who was that? Billy. All right. Rivian. What were your comments on that? Bullish on Rivian. Cool. Yeah, I was weirdly enough, I was looking at this. I was kind of updating some charts, updating some levels, or not levels, but zones I'd like to draw here. And man, look at this one right here, guys. This big thick line. This screams try and take the bounce. Again, can it sell through? Absolutely. But when I see a defined top here, and then we push over, and what do we do the next time we retest it? Boom. Resistance, flip support, buy the bounce, get paid, hopefully. What are we doing again? Retesting, they bought the bounce, or excuse me, defended this level. They defended it again on Friday. So, who was that? Billy? Yeah, very, very nice chart here, you guys. Again, I'm on the daily chart here. So again, if you're a day trader, swing trader, whatever it is, go to the 30-minute, go to the 1 hour chart here. And tomorrow, maybe it pays, maybe not. We don't know. But if we start setting, here's our low from Friday, and I think maybe low of the week, I didn't check, but we start setting a double bottom just from Friday, take your shot on calls. Don't look at a down candle. I know my down candles are not red, but they're white. Don't look at a down candle and chase puts at huge support here. We try not to teach you guys like that. We don't want to do stuff like that. And so this is a very, very nice setup. I'm actually going to keep an eye on this and send alert myself because I like this setup so much. I'm glad it got requested tonight. It makes it super easy for me and my bias as well. But let's see where we get. I want to see if we kind of just nibble down a little bit below there and then get it bought back up for sure. We'll see kind of what happens there. But again, day traders, if you take your shot, you're like, okay, I got into 16 calls. I don't know where to sell. Well, where's the most recent top where price action stalled? Right here. So target 1. We clear that. You can kind of start looking at this little cluster here. Target 2. We push through that. Well, target 3 is pretty obvious right here. It's going to be a resistance zone here. It was a bounce zone. On the way up, it's resistance. It was a bounce zone, but now on the way up, it's resistance. So very, very nice chart setup here. Nice one by Billy for sure. Love it. All right, SMCI. Make sure Perito's still in here. You are perfect. Are you already in this one or looking to get in this one? SMCI. Feel free to unmute if you want. We talk quite a bit, or you can just type in chat. Nodding. All right. And then swings or day trades, because it kind of will depend what I kind of tell you here. But day trade, all right. Well, we got something approaching here. Let's get this line thick here. We'll zoom out and see how good our charting is. Let's check on the daily. I haven't looked at this in a while. Ooh, look at that. Bottom range for sure. Bottom range reclaimed. 2 moving averages underneath. The only tricky part is we got a little bit of time. February 3rd is earnings, but look at this. Just it's going to get kind of Christmas tree colors down here, but look at that big thick line down here, guys. I'm on the daily chart. So they try and sell it through. They get some close under, but ultimately I would say that's not a whole lot of progress. Yeah, they sold it down $2, but when they buy this back up, I mean, I'm looking for stuff like this, like this, like this. So when they back test this, Pareto, look at this, man. Intraday here, 1 hour chart. Yeah, super nice setup. Again, you guys, nice work on this. So again, where do we buy calls? Again, it's harder for new traders to see a down candle. We're like, well, we should buy in puts. No, you buy at support where buybacks are getting defended 1, 2, 3 days in a row. Tomorrow, if they hit that 30.87, I know it's kind of quick charting. One could argue maybe 31. Take your shot 31, and then have a little bit of that wiggle room, 13 cents, and then Preto, anyone else looking at this, depending on how much time you guys buy. A little bit tricky on a stop because we see a big buyback here. I don't know if you want to hold 70 cents against you, 80 cents against you, but what's going to happen here, so we tick down a little bit. So these moving averages are going to stair step down a little bit like that. You're going to have 2 moving averages underneath you. So again, quick math, I don't know the percent loss you would take on this, but I mean, I would rely on these moving averages. This is a very nice setup to let it play out, and a really, really nice setup to maybe start thinking of some swings if you are a swing trader or anybody seeing this, because, I'm not just going to look at like a 5-minute kill candle underneath here and cut my calls and get all antsy and watch it get bought back up and then make profit. So super, super nice buy zone proven on the daily and weekly chart. And then 2 moving averages. Like, I love that. Absolutely. So this is one of those spots where, yeah, they can sell more, but you cannot pay me to take puts down here at this position. So super, super nice request. Yeah, so the purple line is the daily 9, and the green is the daily 20 moving average. And again, this is just, it's the moving averages on the daily, but Thinkorswim is super nice. You can look intraday, know where it's at. So again, if I go to the daily here, you can see the moving averages are down there stacked right underneath that green line. And so super nice request. Nice setup here for sure. Again, I'm not just saying that, but like I said, this is my bread and butter trading, where when you break over level like this, you try and buy that dip for sure. Doesn't mean it's going to go all the way up here, but I would think definitely you would get a bounce for sure. Yellow line is the hourly. I'll just show you. The hourly 20 moving average. Shout out to River on that. We call it the HR20 just for short, but that's kind of what I got here showing right here for sure. But yeah, the 9, the 20, the 200 not shown here. But yeah, very, very nice. So yeah, when you're not on the hourly chart, that's the kind of stair step yellow line there for sure. But super, super nice. Got a couple more requests rolling in here. Leandro, yeah, KO. Let's take a look at that in a second. We got Netflix first, making sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh wait, nope, sorry, got something up here. Matt, you've been using SPY to trade SPX, calling it degenerate. They're probably calling it not because you're doing 2 different charts. It's probably just degenerate of just chasing SPX. It's a very polarizing topic in this Discord and probably all the others. I don't know, man. I don't like SPX. I can get, I can buy time on SPY and let, I can small tangent here, but just for education, I can buy. Let's see if I got a good example here. I can buy the top on SPY puts here. Like if this was Monday, let's just pretend this is Monday morning. I can scale into my puts up here. I get this move down to target 1, and this whole range here, Matt, I can hold a Wednesday or Thursday SPY puts, but SPX, so when SPX hits this candle down, let me zoom way in if I can really quick. I'll be quick this explanation, then I'll get to, I think Netflix is next, just to show you guys a little bit here. So I can hold through this candle down here, and let's just say my SPY contract is worth $200. When we come back here an hour and a half later, and we come to this candle here, my contract is probably worth $200 again. If you're an SPX, and I'm just throwing out a totally random number here, you buy puts here at 100, down here they're worth 200. When we chop this zone here for an hour and a half, when we come back to this down candle here, if this was worth 100 and it's worth 200, it's not going to be worth, I can guarantee it's not going to be worth $200 again. You're going to need to get a move down again because of that theta decay. And so that's kind of the argument of people just chasing way out of money shit on SPX. They buy stuff because it's cheap. They don't know option Greeks, and they try and hold stuff to the end of the day when it just makes absolutely no sense. But when I see something like this, when my contracts expire in 3 days, I can hold that for an hour and a half, and then we sell down and get to my target too. And so that's kind of my argument. I would just say do what works for you. But if you're buying SPX and your heart rate is elevated, you're staring at the chart, your palms are sweaty, like legit, like you should not be doing that. Means you're in too heavy, or you just don't know the position sizing very well. So that's my spiel. Meta, making sure, let's see, they're still in here. Yep, let's take a look at Meta. And then I think we have Netflix. Oh, wait, sorry, man, I'm all over the place. Sorry, Netflix, then Meta, my bad. Netflix, Meta, KO. All right, are you guys still in this? Is it a Nando trade, I think, and Shark might still be in some. I do not remember, have not followed the tabs that well. So we're bouncing over this 85.46 here. Very, very nice buybacks. If you guys are not in, very, very nice chart here to trade. You see these bottoms here. You see, they try and kick it down under. It's defended. They buy it back up. They try and kick it under, buy it back up. Try and sell it under. What do they do? Pretty much same earnings. Not same chart, but same kind of the buyback up after earnings. So they bought it back up here. So 85.46, it's quick charting. It's not perfect, but that's the level we're going to roll with tonight. Intraday look here, same thing, same thesis. I got some trend line charts in the way, but again, you guys, resistance overhead. We push up, first candle resistance, next candle full engulfs it. What do? We test it, we flip support. Support is defended. So when we sell down to this 85.46, again, we're not buying puts. We're buying calls that are on sale, and we're looking for a bounce play, repeatable price action. Haven't used that phrase yet. Again, bounce plays, sell down, you're looking for the bounce. That's all we're doing here on trading. Again, you get that breakout over that zone. Daily 9 is going to be creeping up overhead. I don't know whether we get that move in a day, on Tuesday or in a week, but pay attention to your moving averages for sure. They're for sure going to be creeping up overhead. Clear that, this big thick line here, basically this 89 zone, jumping out quickly again to the daily chart here. So we clear this. All we're looking just for the next zone. There's stuff in between for sure. If you guys are in, contracts expire this week, yeah, trim on the way up. Get that kill candle close there for a trim, which probably would line up with the daily 9 moving average as well. We push up to that. But again, just like I try and teach, you're not entering here and you're saying, hey, I'm holding here for the first target. There's so many other things you should be trimming in between here. Most notably, Friday's high of the day, you should absolutely be trimming there. This could be target 2, then this could be target 3. But don't get greedy, guys. I see it, not a lot, but pretty frequent. You get into here and you just have unrealistic targets and expectations because you took a past loss and you're like, I need to make this up in one trade instead of just chipping away at it and having a good trade play out. So any questions on Netflix? Is kind of quick, but again, super, super easy chart to play off of. All right, now we got Meta, KO, IREN. I always call it Irene. No, it's probably not that, but cool. All right. Meta. I'll look at this one in a bit. Let's see where we're stacking up here. Thick line up here. Let's check the daily. We're trading at 657. So definitely for sure. Haven't really, let's just cheat. Let's pull this zone here. Absolutely. This is a clear and defined top. I think we should have marked for sure. We don't want to be chasing up into this zone here. This 670, 668 to basically 675, kind of this, and it's a wide range, but it's a big moving stock. Clearly, guys, we can see this, or hopefully you can see this with my charting style. We sell through that top, failed breakout, over and over and over. All of December, January, it's making an attempt. So what do? We buy the dips. When we dip down, we're retesting some support here. So 657.9, we'll just call it 658 when I come in on an intraday chart here. That's that level. I think we're up. We're underneath that, excuse me. So let me go intraday here before I get too ahead of myself. So we're a little bit under that. And we see again, that red zone has just changed. And then the daily 200 overhead as well. So tricky spot here. There's some money to be made on the upside, but we don't want to chase. So option number one, got a little bit of a down candle now. So if we kind of open underneath here, we start getting a little bit selly. Let's just take our puts down into the 642. Let's buy that dip. Is it a buy bull dip? Does it make sense? You betcha. Where'd we open out on Friday? Right there. Okay. So if you don't want to take your puts, well, just send alert down here. You're like, I don't want to take puts for whatever reason. Fine. Send alert down here. Get your call bounce, try down there, double bottom zone. Option number two, we kind of trickle in here. For me, if it's at the open, I'm not going to chase a move into this zone here. I'm going to wait for a confirmed breakout and a retest. So what does that look like? So a really good example here is these two candles here. So basically, I'm looking for pretty much the same candle formation, either on the 1 hour or the 30-minute chart, just like this. So early morning of the day, I want to see ideally an engulfing candle fully through that, just like this here. And then what happens on the next candle? If we study candlestick charts, we dipped into it. So the candle opened here, we dipped, and this was the low of that candle. That's exactly what I want. I want to see a back test of support and at least, 15-minute candle minimum hold, boom, grab your calls in there and play that bounce. And again, repeatable price action. It's simple what we want out of this trade. If we catch the bounce here, we're literally just looking for this price action just like this with a final target up in here. So super nice chart if we can get this bounce, or we might even, kind of push pre-market and they sell it down. Late people chasing puts here. We get the big bounce. Bears are crushed, chasing puts at the bottom. We're smart traders. We buy that dip and boom, catch that move up to there. But again, this is the high of the week, I believe. Definitely the high of Friday. Yeah, high of the week. So again, be smart. Grab the dip buy. But again, don't hold a full position going, I'm going to get the daily 200 up here. No, don't be a dummy. Sell into this, trim into this Friday high zone. You see these smackdown wicks. These are 1 hour candles. So back to back 1 hour candles failed to break higher. Then what they do? They kicked it down the end of the day for a sell-off. You'd be foolish to buy at 658, watch a $7 move in your favor, not sell because you're greedy, and they kick all the way back down to break even. That's just horrible trading. Do not be that person. Any questions on Meta for that person? I don't see anything in the chat. Cool. I think we got. What is my opinion on expiration changes? If I'm being cheeky, I just think it's more opportunity for retail to lose their money and big money to make more money. I like it. It makes stuff affordable, but because it's affordable, what does that also mean? It's risky. When stuff is affordable, it means it's short dated. So, we know the statistics on retail traders, their failure rate is like 90% or higher. Yeah, I'm going to try not get sucked into that, but I do like my Amazons, my Googles, my Microsofts. So, it's just more influx of money in the markets. And again, big money is going to come out on top, kind of like a casino. They always come out ahead. There's some good retail traders. There's some good traders with Smaller portfolios, big portfolios, but in the long run, the house always wins. Leandro, let's look at KO. Are you in this? I think we was that the one we talked last week and you hit a nice trade on this? I think so. Might be wrong, but we talked, right? Yeah, that I love that level there. So let's zoom out a little bit. I haven't caught this one on a day trade in a while. We're trading up here this 72 and a half. 73. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to be just blindly biased and bearish, but without a good, decent dip, I don't like chasing calls up here. I'm not saying you're trying to buy the top of this candle, but you can see, this is only, here to here is another $1.50 on this name. And so, yeah, we got up over that, but like this price action here from March of last year is not even super convincing and awesome to me because it's kind of some ugly candles, big topside wicks, and they kicked it back down. And then just this price action, this price action, this price action. And where did it stop Friday? It's not an accident. For me, I would just lean with the mindset of this name. It can go for more, absolutely. But for me, I need a clear and very, very nice looking breakout over this zone here. And then we would flip the screen. And then basically you would use this kind of zone here, Friday's close. So basically you enter here at basically 73.0 hypothetically. I would use basically a 20 cent down against you as my stop. So it can trickle in here. I'm holding, it's still red. We bounce up and make money. We sell through this. We're selling through Friday's close. For me, that would be a stop for calls. And then for puts, it's just, to me, it's just an easier, safer setup. Again, this can go for more. We've seen it move recently. We've seen it put in big moves. But when I see that price action on the daily, I want to see a little more consolidation down here, kind of just to refuel the gas tank of the spaceship, so to speak, and then launch through there. I could be totally wrong, but when I see stuff like that, especially if I start seeing failed breakout candles and we start doing repeatable price action, I would want to short the shit out of this with confidence and using Friday's high as my stop out. So basically, I'm shorting it. I'm not looking for this in one shot. I'm just looking for a retracement. Doesn't mean I'm mega bearish on this, but I'm just looking for a little dip, a better dip to buy. I would rather buy down here and trim and trim and trim, hold the runner, and then catch that breakout that's probably well over 100% profits versus, taking the first time here up over here. First time in many months we're breaking over that zone there. So hopefully that thesis aligns with yours. That's kind of just my mindset when I see stuff like that. I don't like getting into this top range. I want a clear, defined, proven breakout over that top range. So send me a message in DMs if you want to go over it more, or if you catch a trade either way. I hope you make some money on that for sure. But very, very nice dip buy. 72.2. It's been on my chart for a while. Any dips into here, this 71.17, you would get a kick down of your daily 9 moving average. So double support down here as well. So very, very nice for day trades and swings. If you guys don't play KO, it's Coca-Cola. This name pays every single day for sure. All right, getting back to the chat. Irene, I know it's not that, but that's what I call it. Or maybe it is, I don't know. That's what I call it. Let's zoom out. What do we have here at 57.42? What? Ooh, same thing, just like KO. To me, you're late. If you want to get calls, yeah, absolutely on a daily, or excuse me, I'm on the daily chart. A break and retest, yeah, leg up. So breakout, retest, legs up. But I'm not chasing calls into this level. I'm not watching this beautiful move from 41 to 57. I know it's hindsight. And then now I want to get into calls here. No, I want to get a confirmed breakout. Because again, 1, 2, 3, 4, every day last week, where did it stop? Where did it either, strong sellers, weak buyers, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. It's not, I know there's Not going to single anybody out. I know there's a lot of people that like to just chase the breakout. They buy here because the breakout's coming. It can come, absolutely. I can be wrong tomorrow. Tag me, that's fine. But I just do not trade like that when I see 1, 2, 3 didn't get there 4 or 5 days in a row. You know, it can come tomorrow. Maybe it comes Tuesday. Maybe it comes in February. I don't know. But I do not. I'm not buying a top there. I'm buying down here on these big reaction bounces, big reaction bounces. So you didn't have much commentary on this, but what I would do, especially as a day trader, that's fine. Even a breakout over here, I don't love it because look at those smackdowns. Look at those smackdowns. For me, you know, clear the range from the week. So this was, well, okay, Friday, cheating a little bit, but let's just pretend, basically this is the high from last week. Well, it was the high. This was the high from Friday. So a clear breakout over, that's a very good trading strategy. So we trade previous day high low, previous week high low. So this is a previous week high, which is also double top there. That's something I can get behind with caution. But again, even a break over this, yeah, you could get a $1.50 move up here. That's going to pay very, very well. But again, don't get overly confident on it because you're seeing this price action here just from Friday. Failed breakouts. These are 1 hour candles here. Failed breakouts all day over that level there, and they sold it back under, and now we're kicking it back under. So let's go down to a 30-minute chart. Let's see if we can find a dip to buy for you if that's what you're interested in. Kind of around this range here, 55. So kind of our top, bounced through it. And we got all this kind of this price action here. It formed a top here. And then right here is why that interests me. Is we broke over it. It defended for the first time in, 2 days, so that's meaningful. So it's right there, kind of that 55 zone. I think that's a buyable dip, but like how I like to trade, or find the biggest movements, the biggest momentum in the market. If that sells, what happens when we sell through 55? Kill candle down, kill down, down, down. When we break over, up, up, up. So that's kind of my pivot on that zone there, 55 on the ticker IREN. Nice setup though. Just for me, you didn't say what to chase the top. I'm not going to chase the top up there for sure. All right, checking the chat. Always be winning. Still in here. Good to have you in here. Let's look at Microsoft. Let's do it. What's in on this one? Are you in this one or just looking for possible entry? Feel free to unmute your mic if you want. Seeing a couple cautionary things here for the bulls, but doesn't mean we can't go for more. I think we need a few more lines in here. It's not just a straight shot down, $11. Let me see what kind of makes sense here. It's going to be some quick charting. What do we got here on that wick? 464.2. Yeah. So this buyback lines up nice with that candle cluster there. If we sell under that, kind of just moves faster there. Not a lot of price action. It moves very fast under that 465. I mean, obviously there's stopping points in between there, but just for sake of charting, let's peek at this daily real quick again. Looking for this week. Cool. And we got, oh man, we got earnings. We got earnings in 3 days. That's Wednesday. So contracts are going to be juiced. Be mindful of that. My tab is going to be very quiet the next couple of weeks as well as we push through this earnings season. That's just how it is. It's just a lot of landmines to dodge. So where are we at now? 467 basically. We're over that. So that's nice. I'm going to bump this line up here because I like this buyback and I like this engulfing. So if we want to be bulls on this, I like that. Let's not be totally blind to our top here. It's a top, no matter how you want to call it. Bottom, 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 and a top. So it's a top until it's not. And the daily 20 creeping up there too. Let's look intraday. Let's get a game plan, guys. Could be a very decent setup. I'm on a 30-minute chart. That thick line there just drew. My first instinct, guys, is get that double bottom on this zone here. An after hours double bottom, but it can very well pay. I tag that line on the dailies, so it does have some influence as well. So first and foremost, if we kind of trickle in here, kind of one of these things, our hourly 20 is going to stair step similar, and it's probably going to be stacked somewhere close here, this 465. So for me, scenario number one, we kind of trickle down here a little bit weak pre-market. I'm not just saying super bearish, but we trickle in. We come into this, you play your bounce there. For me, how I like to trade, that's a super easy short underneath it. But if we're over it, we should be looking to get the bounces first. Where do we sell? We're not looking for this right away. Nope. What are we doing? We're looking left. Do you think this price action right around here matters? I bet you. 468.4, 468.5. Look at that. So we're on the 30-minute charts here, guys. Again, study candlesticks. Don't just look at them. Every day I look at stuff, and in my mind and kind of out loud sometimes I'm talking to myself. I'm going, okay, what are we doing here? So, we're pushing into here. We look left, kicked it down. Another 30-minute candle, they tried, kicked it down. Next one, what they do? They engulfed it. And what they do? They back tested it. And what did they do the next candle? They defended it and they pushed it up. What they do? They back tested it. They defended it and they pushed it up. They back tested it and it failed. And then what happened here? Resistance. Breakdown, retest, boom, get your puts. So we buy our dip here. Where do we think we should be trimming? Should be pretty obvious, trim heavy. Obviously, you can trim in between here, 465 to 68. You're catching a multi-dollar move in there, but I'm just saying big picture. If you're kind of a swing trader or something, that's a big target. You catch this move, you better be trimming there. We push up, you better be trimming there. We break over, fine. Hold your runners, great. You made the move, you got the breakout you wanted because you're a smart trader. Buying, throat's getting dry, sorry. You're a smart trader catching these bottoms down here. And again, you catch this move and we kind of just trickle up in here. We start having some half-assed breakouts that fail up here. We got a candle like this and a big wick on the top, candle like this and a big wick on the top, double on the 30-minute. We got this right here. Where do you think you should be short at? Probably this double top with your stop somewhere over that red zone or maybe somewhere over Friday's high. So why do I say easy? I don't know. I don't want to be like cocky about it, but timing the charts, but I look for stuff that has multiple touches or multiple rejections. And that's why, like I tell you guys week after week and people that do one-on-ones with me, it's like my watch list doesn't change because I don't want to chart new shit every single week and try and figure out, okay, where's our big weekly top? Where's our weekly bottom? Where is it relative to this or that? It's like my charting is done. I pay attention to spine QQQ. I find setups that are just like, you see me do this in real time. I'm like, okay, I either want to buy the bottom here, or if we trickle into here, if I catch a move, it's like, and I start seeing, double top action up here. It's like, well, okay, I'm getting my shorts right here. To me, that's just, I don't know, easy charting, easy. It's not a guess. I'm not just buying puts up here because I think, Microsoft went up too much today or it went down too much. I'm going to try and buy calls here or here just randomly. I'm buying at these big zones where it makes sense, where for me, my risk reward is well defined. Doesn't mean it's going to work. No one has a 100% hit rate, but, you find these spots and you be patient on everything on your watch list. All right. Hopefully that helps for Microsoft. Cole, you still in here? Yep. Let's look at MU. Weekly play with MU, pretty expensive. All right. I think this one's been on a runner. Let's see where we are at. I think to just have earnings a while ago. Earnings. Okay. So I believe this all-time highs, which don't love it, but let's build you a game plan. Got to go intraday here. So Cole, if you're not in already, doesn't look like you're in yet. So for me, all-time high. This is very simple. Similar to not wanting to buy the tops, this is even more so. I'm not interested in calls unless I get a very, very nice dip buy. We don't have a lot to work with, but I'll kind of show you quickly how I would trade this. I'm looking for, let's say, a very good bounce buy right here, and I'll kind of explain why, just my mindset. So our top, sell through it, battle here, they hold it over, they retest it. Most importantly, they retest and defended it. So, and then somewhere over, I mean, literally an all-time high. And then somewhere down here, again, this is quick charting. I'm just looking for the clusters where the battle is. There's a lot of candle clusters here. The next day, same thing. Down here, it was our top where they defended it. Okay. So Cole, for me, anyone watching MU as well, I need a nice dip buy into here for me to want to be in some calls. Doesn't mean I'm super bearish at all, because even under here, I don't love puts under this level here, because I see this action here and I see this action here. Not super clean breakdowns underneath that. So for me, I don't even love taking the short underneath here. I would love, like, this upper range structure here. Really, for me, I would love puts up here, shorten your all-time high double top, or under this 381. I know it's like, okay, well, I got to wait $13 to take puts. Well, for me, that's kind of what I see, because there's not super clean price action of a breakdown. We got an opening candle here that gets bought back up. We have this here, but for me, a break under this little, like, short-term uptrend, higher lows are being set, and we sell through that. What are we doing? We're selling through, I know I got a lot of shit going on here. We're selling through this short-term trend line, or a long-term, excuse me. And it's our first time that we're dipping and we're not making a higher low. And so to me, you sell through that, that's where you can get short with confidence. But for me, this chart just says, buy your dips here, which means just be patient. So if you're like, okay, I don't want to take puts because I'm scared of a bounce, well, just set alert here. If you want to take a screenshot, basically 394, quick charting 38826, 38124. Huge momentum, obviously, on this name. People are trying to short it. You might get lucky, but to me, it does need a breather, but you need to take your shots where it makes sense on getting puts. You can't just chase stuff because you say it's up too much. You need to get a break under the structure, which means a break under support. They retest it. You're like, okay, they retest that support. It failed. Boom, get your puts, take it down. So not my favorite chart of the night, but again, it's very tradable. I would just lean on buying the dips until really this bottom line here I've drawn for you guys, really till that fails, because you could very well just kind of consolidate up here. So DMs are always open if you need some more help on it, for sure. All right. Making sure I'm not missing anything. All right. IWM, crowd favorite, one of mine as well. I don't think we looked at last week. Let's see where this thing, not the best day. Is this all-time highs? Probably not. Where are we sitting on the weekly here? We're sitting at over 260. How far is this all-time highs? Someone stop me if it is. Okay, I think it is. All right. So where are we at? We're on the weekly. You have some 266 calls expiring on Tuesday. Where did you buy them on the chart? Feel free to unmute your mic if you want. I'll kind of help guide you through this, or just type in the chat if you don't want to talk. Totally cool. You bought at 265 at daily 9-moving average. Very, very nice. Might have been a river trade. I'll be honest with you. I don't love this after hours action. I don't love it broke the daily 9-moving average. I don't love this 265 break, because bounce under rejection, over bounce under rejection, question mark, I don't know. So and you're going to take a theta hit, because if we closed here excuse me, if we open where we closed, you're still going to take a weekend hit because a weekend, theta never stops and it's 2 days of expiration. So you have a theta hit and you're gapping down potentially. So my smart conservative trading mindset, for me, it's a cut. The only way I'd hold is if we get a fast move at the open. So again, I personally do not want you to average down on this, just trying to get back. I'll tell anybody this, it's okay to take losses, you guys, we all do. The key is to keep your losses smaller than your wins and hopefully have your wins come more than your losses do. And so the worst thing you can do, we kind of open here, you're like, okay, I'm gonna take an average really quick. And then we sell down. You're like, okay, shit, I've seen some bounces here. Let me average one more time. It's like you could have cut here for a loss that is probably that cut's going to hurt a little bit. And then maybe, if you're a good day trader or you're, high volume, you trade several a week or a day, excuse me, take your puts down here, make some money, or maybe sell down in here, make some money on puts. And it either offsets completely or offsets a little bit that loss there. And you're mentally, you're not really thinking about that loss anymore. But the worst thing to do, you take an average, it sells more, you take an average. And now, voice chat is in puts and we're just cheering on. We're like, oh, let's go get this 262. And here you are holding your calls at a deeper loss. And now you used all your buying power for the day, whatever it is. You don't want to do that. So for me, because you're going to take a weekend theta hit, if we push hard at the open, I mean, like in the first 15 minutes of the day, and we close over this, for me, you can try and see if you can squeak out or just close it almost break even. Even a pushback into here, you're not going to be break even. You're still going to be red, probably, shit, I don't even know, at least probably 20%. And so break and hold over that. You might get lucky and get a nice break retest early in the day and bounce and squeak out green. But if we kind of just trickle into here, any signs of any more weakness, just cut it, move on. It's Monday morning. You have 4.5 more days of trading, hypothetically, to make your money back. Just move on from it. Again, it's okay to take a loss, but I just, if we closed here and if this candle is kind of sitting here now, like, okay, we bounce this, you can get out of it, but holding under that, I don't like that on something short date. If you're in like June calls, I'm like, all right, let's work on a plan, but that expires in 2 days. I don't love that.
Hey, 1K,
What's up?
it's JT.
What's up, JT?
So, can I add to that?
Go for it, man.
So, I got support at 261.69 and 260.07 for IWM. Um, it does look like it's probably gonna really gap down. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Tuesday expiration. Um, yeah, it's looking not looking good. And I'll be honest with you, I got into the 270s for Friday, and I'm way too fucking early. I'm down 40%. So whoever
Right.
I want just tell them don't feel too bad. And people know how I knock it out the park with IWM, but this one is definitely gonna be a foul.
Yeah, yeah, and just like I said, guys, that 260, that was a spot. You guys were 100% right. Like I said, when I this whole hour and week after week, I say, okay, we teach buy the dips of support. Well, you're buying support, you're buying the daily 9 moving average, and just proves, like I said, I hinted earlier tonight in the hour, it's like it can go down more, but this is just not a spot you take your shot on puts. Again, we all take losses, but like this is absolutely when this is a top formed a or excuse me, a top and now flipped support, it's like, yeah, you buy that dip there. It just sometimes it doesn't work, whether it's rotation and the small caps or out of them, lack of a word, back into tech. I don't know, but it's just tricky. And even across all time frames, I just don't love that. But might see some bounces in here. Like I said, this candle cluster here, this buyback. But again, I just don't want you guys to endlessly average. It creates bad habits and bad mindsets. It's best to just like cut it, make a mental note. I lost $200, I lost 1,000, I lost 20, whatever it is. And you chip away at that. And then if you have a good week on Friday, you're gonna be like, I don't even care about the IWM. Like, yeah, it was a loss, but you ended the week green. That's all that matters. And so um tricky spot, you guys, but if you're not in it, if this is failing, send alert from maybe that 260, 261-ish, 7 that JT had. Very, very nice bounce zone. That could be the next stopping point if we get weak a day or two. Tuesday, we got FOMC. So any charting we do tonight, Tuesday, it's going to look way different. If you guys have not traded the FOMC meeting, please just sit out and just watch the fireworks. Don't get smoked because you don't want to blow your port. All right, did that. Let's see. Gonna skip Amazon for 1 second. Want to get everybody else's requests. And CJ, you're still in here. Yep, Tesla. What's the score of that game, guys? Anybody got it up? I mean, charts are more important, but I'm just curious. Tesla. You guys, let's take a look here. This is my favorite zone on Tesla. 440 to 445. I love this zone. It provides very, very nice price action on the daily chart. You're like, well, what the hell is this? There's a lot going on here. Yeah, there is. But this is kind of like my, not holy grail. It's not like a perfect zone. It's not super, super clean, but like when we're over and we're trading near this 445, again, it can go under, absolutely, but this is where you buy the bounce for me. And when we sell under 440, people are trying to catch the dip on swings. I just don't like it until big zones here. So 445. If you guys are not in this, Tesla moves fast. It's not for most people, but the chart was requested, so here we go. So again, big engulfing. Every time it does that, what do? We move fast and hard off that. What do? We break over it fast and hard. Break over it, retest fast and hard. We're testing it now. So 445, I'm definitely not going to say this is a no zone in between here, like a scalp, like a 50-cent range. It's a $5 range. But to me, it's tricky in between here because you can get a kill candle down that gets bought back up really quick. And so I don't love that. Or you can try and short into here and we get the buyback through that. So tricky spot. But for me, any holds over 445, I like this. And we got the kick down in the price action. So this daily 20 is going to stair step. So we had a down day. It's going to stair step probably right there. So you got, a moving average stacked right at a huge support, 445. So again, you guys buy stuff that makes sense. Don't buy a 500 call that expires this week. Like, again, TSLL. It's way cheaper. I talk about this every time Tesla gets brought up. You can look at the Tesla chart and trade this, and it moves exactly the same. Like if you want to see a 1 hour down candle on Tesla, you're going to see it on TSLL as well. You can buy weekly or monthly contracts at a fraction of the cost. And liquidity is fairly good on this. So again, you guys, don't get smoked playing Tesla because Tesla is the sexy name for whatever reason that you keep liking to trade that. If you can't afford a reasonable strike, it means you should not be trading this name. And so I really like the name of 445. Again, I can't be mega bearish until like this green zone breaks. Yeah, we can short tops here, or we can get some puts down in here, but it's like larger term, not that you said you wanted to be bearish on it, but a swing. This is that zone there. I don't love talking about Tesla because it wrecks a lot of people, but for this zone here to get brought up, we'll absolutely go over it. It's a very, very nice zone to play off of, for sure. Very, very nice. But again, trade Tesla this week at the money contract. Did they have earnings? This could be extra skewed. So they got earnings Wednesday, so take this with a grain of salt. But so an at the money contract is $1,600. TSLL at the money contract, $125. So what makes sense, you guys? You want to play Tesla earnings? Play TSS or TSLL. Okay, it is a 2x. So if Tesla gaps down 5%, TSLL gaps down 10%. What do you guys know about option Greeks? Yeah, stick to that. So again, you guys look at it. So same exact thing. Zoomed in here, up candle, got the down candle, down candle. I go to Tesla, up candle, we got the down candle, down. It's exact same. It's a leverage ETF that follows it, or leverage share position that follows it. So That's my one and only warning tonight on Tesla. Be careful, guys. All right. All right, I'm gonna come back to Amazon and I'm gonna wrap the class. It looks like we pretty much got requests in. If you guys want to bail out, you certainly can. If you want to stick around for Amazon, here it is. But appreciate you guys sticking around. I see all the regular names in here, putting in the work week after week. You guys are the 1% that's going to make out alive someday and be a profitable trader, because you know how trade floor is. We got hundreds of people in there every single day. And what happens? We come to a Sunday scan class and we got 23 people, because the other couple hundred people think they got it figured out and they don't. So appreciate you guys putting in the work, not just sucking up. I mean it. All it takes is an hour a day to better yourself. You guys are doing it. So Amazon, we got a little bit of top action here. Not all-time high top, but quick charting. This is another name I was looking at. I was like, oh, let's see if anybody requested. So I know it breaks over here, but I want to focus on the bottom. Sorry, throat's getting dry. I'm on the daily chart right here, guys. Top, where do we stop out? Bottom, defined. Top, where do we stop out? Kind of ignore this kind of messy shit here, but where do we stop Friday? Where do we stop probably Monday? Is that an accident? Absolutely not. So intraday here, I'll get some levels here because it's definitely playable on this name here, but let's see. So again, to me, it's either a big ass volume breakout push in the morning, retest, or more like breakout, retest, and go. Because I see this top. I see this top. I see this top. I don't like that. But it's a bottom here. But for now, it's a top until it's not. Doesn't matter. It could break out, or excuse me, it could fail 30 more days in a row, or we get the breakout tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen, but this just screams wait for the breakout. Or if you want to get bearish on this name, super easy to find. Break under, get your puts. Break under, repeatable price action. Break under, repeatable price action. Repeatable price action. So very, very well defined setup on this. Not want to be a mega bear on it, but I don't love this until a confirmed breakout. Basically, well, let's get a level here and figure it out for you guys. Or just send an alert. 240.58 basically is what I would be looking at. Don't want to go, again, into this zone. How I trade, I cannot buy calls at the high of the week, the high of the previous day. Break and retest, fine. Get your 241, your 242 calls. But again, break underneath that, lean and bearish. Not saying we're coming down into here because we got a moving average right down into here, but just retracement, maybe back down to this nice little pocket here. I guarantee there's some volume still sticking around right on this 237. So that's how I trade that. Be smart with this name. Decent setup, not my favorite of the night. Very, very tradable, but again, be smart with that setup. All right, y'all. It's 6:01. I need to eat some dinner, watch the rest of that game. I appreciate y'all sticking around. Super good request tonight, you guys. For sure. DMs are always open if you guys need some more help. But with that, you guys, I'm going to end the chat and have a good rest of your evening. Thank you.